Okay, looks like word has traveled through town that when you have a comeback and you've been all over the place spending money trying to chase down a problem, that I might be your guy. And this Dodge truck right here is no exception. It appears that they've been chasing an overheating issue on this thing for a while. They did a radiator flush on it, so they said. I believe I heard they put a thermostat in it, and there was something else they said they did, but I forgot. Oh, a fan clutch. They put a fan clutch in it, and it's still overheating. So it's hot right now, actually. So what I'm gonna do is bring it into the shop and see what I can determine. So the first thing I'm gonna do after I get this in is recheck the other people's works and make sure they didn't do something screwy. I'm gonna make sure that the parts that they installed are not faulty, and then I'll reevaluate this thing and see what I can do to remedy their overheating issue. If I can get in without hitting the wall. Yeah, it looks good. I'm in. All right, let's find out what untold treasures lay beneath the hood. That's hot. Let's find that other hose down there. That one's hot. Okay, so I'm assuming there's coolant flow happening here. Interesting. And let's check their fan. It's not the greatest. I'd like to see more friction here on this fan clutch. I bet that's a piece of crap. And there's a secondary fan inside too, an electric one. So I don't think that airflow is going to be the problem here. Let's check the coolant condition. Not there. Let's check coolant condition and see if it has evidence of combustion gases that are present. I don't think so. Nah, this is new coolant. They already put some coolant in there when they did the flush, so to speak. All right, well, step one, I'm gonna verify that it is in fact overheating and go from there. Okay, I am about to catch some serious reaction in the comments from what I am about to do now. I would not recommend doing this, and I do not take responsibility if any of you guys try this. This is a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I have the engine running, and I'm looking at this new fan clutch that they installed, and it's not really pulling any air through. I don't like it. I don't think the frame rate on the camera is doing it justice, but it doesn't appear to be turning at the speed that it should be. So I'm gonna introduce an obstruction. And look at that. Look at that. This thing is running, turning, and I do not have a fan clutch. Thanks on the axles. This is a defective brand new part, which is a bad sign. I'm not entirely convinced that this is all of their problem, because if you remember, there's an electric fan in there also that's running, and that should actually be sufficient to keep this engine cool. Regardless, I'm gonna have to replace this fan clutch and then reevaluate, because I don't like what I'm seeing here. I mean, now I'm keeping my finger out of the way in case this thing decides to lock up and start to go on me, but I should not be able to do this. This thing is a defective brand new clutch. Probably Chinesium. There it goes. Okay. Alrighty, so like I mentioned earlier, someone just put this fan clutch in. I'm gonna pull this out and we're gonna send it back to the people that sold it to them, and they're gonna warranty this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this fan shroud out and get in there and yank that clutch off. And then by that time the new one should be here. And then I'll throw the new one in and then reevaluate this cooling system to see what the deal is. I imagine that's gonna handle the problem, but I don't deal in absolutions unless I know for sure. And in this case, I don't know if there's gonna be anything else that's wrong with it. So that's just where we're gonna start. I was hoping the shroud was gonna come apart in 2 pieces, but it's not. So I'm gonna go in here and break this fastener loose for the fan clutch. I'll spin the fan off and pull the fan and the shroud out at the same time. Got it. This is one of those things where when you get to the end, you want to take care to not let it fall and smack the radiator. I'm less concerned about this one because there is that electronic fan that's in the way, but I don't want to, I still don't want to let it fall. Loose. There we go. And now we're going to reach in, pull the fan and the shroud out at the same time. Shroud's stuck on something. Oh well, I still have clearance, so I don't care. There she is. Time for a new one. While I've got some visibility, sort of, now it's going to be a good time to go in and inspect this water pump. I don't see anything leaking. It all looks pretty dry. So this is good. Inspection complete. Okay, let's separate the fan from the clutch and I can send this clutch back. Voila. Okay, parts guys just showed up. I have a replacement. Sent the old one back for warranty, so I'm gonna slap this fan on and then, so let's get these bolts in. I will apply torque to them and then do the reverse procedure to install this. Then we will start this engine back up and to see what we've got to work with at that point. Good and tight. All right, let's get this back in, mounted onto the water pump. All right, like I said, this will go in just the opposite the way it came out. I'll slide it in behind the fan shroud, thread it, mount the shroud, and then apply torquing pressure to secure it to the water pump shaft. All right, threads are started. Threads are started now. I'm just going to spin it some until it bottoms out. Then I'll go ahead and get the shroud bolted back into place. Almost. Come on. All right, there's resistance. The threads are bottomed out now. Okay, and one more on the other side. Good. Okay, we're looking down the accessory drive again. Here's my, my fan clutch. I'm just gonna apply a couple dirks to it to secure this with a bit of torque. And my light's gone. All done. Okay, so I retrieved my light. It made its way down to the bottom of the fan shroud. Let's go ahead and start this engine up. Let it come up to operating temperature. and we'll see if this thing overheats now that we know that it's got a good clutch fan in it. I'll rephrase, we'll call this a new clutch fan, because new doesn't mean good, it just means it's not used. And we've learned before that shiny doesn't mean things work. Well, I heard some fan action there. Let's see what we got. Okay, I definitely hear some airflow out of this thing now. I can feel it. Again, the frame rate on the camera may be messing up the speed of this, but there is no way I'm sticking my hand in this one, because I can see that this bad boy is running like it should be. So I successfully and confident that I did diagnose a faulty brand new Chinesium clutch fan assembly that came out of this. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna hang back for a little while, let this thing come up to operating temperature, and then we'll make a determination from there if any further action should be required. All right, this thing has been sitting here running for about 20 minutes, and we've already got a difference on the thermal gauge here. So let's go take this out on the road and make sure it stays cool, and I'll go ahead and call this one good. Backing out the auto. I'll start through the parking lot behind this shopping center that my shop is in, and then we'll circle around the block and put about 2 or 3 miles on it or so. And if this gauge doesn't move, which I don't expect it to, then I'm gonna call this one good, and we're gonna close this one out. So I guess the takeaway on this one is kind of a common theme you guys have heard me say from time to time, and I'll say it again. Just because it's shiny and just because it's new does not mean it's any good. Shiny and new only means it's not used, and I'm sure it stumped the other guys that were trying to fix it, or the guys that fixed it the first time, because they immediately thought, well, hey, this is brand new, so this can't be the problem, but I still have a problem, so it must be something else. And they got frustrated and gave up, and then I guess I ended up with it. And so, and this applies to you if you're working on your own car, or if you do this for a living also. If you get a comeback and something you just did doesn't seem right, recheck your parts. You know, obviously you always recheck your work, but recheck your parts, because that brand new part you put in may not be worth a crap. And that's kind of exactly what happened here. All that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, because that is what gets my content out to other potential viewers. And if you didn't like this video, let me know about it in the comment section down below. And in closing, I will remind everybody to not forget to have a great day. See you guys. Oh, and check it out. Temp gauge is still right where it's supposed to be. Hooray, this is success. So I'm not back at the shop yet, and I got a couple more minutes before we're there, so I figured I'd put this out there and see if anyone can help me. Today's video was shot on a GoPro Hero 9. And I'm having a real big problem with this camera. On occasion, I will stop recording, and the camera will freeze up, and the screen will just turn black, but the digits that are counting, you know, how long you've been recording, those still go on. And once that happens, I can't do anything with the camera except disconnect the battery and plug it back in. I have already replaced the SIM card in it and tried a different manufacturer, and that seemed to help a little bit, but it's still doing it, so I'm not sure if that's just me hoping that it's better or if it is actually better. Anyway, the reason I'm putting this out there is I want to ask any of you guys if you have any experience with the GoPro 9, and have you run into a similar situation. If you have, I would love to know how you resolve that problem, because I can't seem to figure it out. The problem occurs at random, and it's kind of frustrating, and I actually am afraid to really use this camera very often, because I don't want to shoot a 20-minute scene and then go to stop recording and my camera freezes and then I lose all that footage, because every time it freezes up, whatever was in that frame is lost, and I cannot recover it at all. So I've been stuck on the GoPro 8 for a few weeks now while I've been trying to troubleshoot this camera. Whoa, gannet crossing. Oh no, those aren't gannets, those are sandhill cranes. freaking dinosaurs. Okay, that's gonna be a wrap for me. I'm done now. That's enough. So see you guys later. Catch you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye, Dodge truck that doesn't overheat anymore.